Yo, what's going on Facebook, YouTube fam? It's your boy C.Blood, C.Blood too cool. Y'all know what it is, young adults, Christ life, no swag lost. So let me tell y'all a story real quick, right? So yesterday, literally yesterday, I had this guy jump on one of my statuses, and it wasn't actually my status, it was my homeboy Jay Sells. I reposted it, and the joint said, sex before marriage is fornication. And so this dude proceeds to go off on this joint. He's like, you know what, man? I'm tired of y'all Christians. Y'all so judgmental. Y'all do this. Y'all do that. All this crazy stuff, right? And I'm just looking like, bruh, like what? I don't understand why you so upset about this. He's like, well, y'all judge. Y'all do this. Y'all do that. And it's like, only God can judge me. Only God can judge me. And so this is something that so many people, not just in my generation, but period, say, only God can judge me. That's what they say. This is what they use. And they say, anytime you say one specific thing that actually agrees with what God says, if it goes against what they're actually doing at the current time, they try to point fingers and say, well, you do this and you do that and you do that. And the funny thing is, y'all don't really understand. I think like they have this idea that because we love the Lord and that we rep the faith, that we deny sin if it has something to do with us. That's not the case, ladies and gentlemen. That's never the case. See, the truth about this thing is like this. A lot of my generation, y'all don't know how to stick to one specific thing, first of all, because you don't want to uphold the standard of holiness and righteousness that God is calling us to do. Am I saying that I'm a perfect person? C.Blood, are you perfect? No, I am not saying that. But one thing I do not do is make excuses for what I do. If I do go out and have sex with a girl, if you are going out stealing, if you are going out lying, if you are being deceitful, if you are all these things, it's still sin. I don't make excuses for my sin. I call it what it is. I'm not saying that I'm a perfect person. I'm not saying that I'm out here just being, Jesus's perfect son and I only have one sin on my record. That's a total lie. The only thing the difference between us and those who are saying these things, only God can judge me, are because we are the ones who don't make excuses for our sin. So when he was saying all these things, I'm like, yeah, man, that is a sin. He's like, well, being prideful is a sin and eating too much is a sin. And this is, I was like, yeah, those are sin too. Yeah. Okay. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, y'all got to understand. Listen, we are out here in this world struggling with principalities, powers. We struggling with flesh. We struggling with our deceitful hearts. But that's the thing is, in order for you to actually get better and to actually get closer to God, God is looking for the person who is going to press towards the mark for him. He's not looking for the person who's trying to pretend to be perfect. That's never the case. That's never been the case. So the reason why I'm saying I'm making this video, because when y'all out here shouting this, only God can judge me, only God can judge me, y'all don't even know what judgment is. A lot of people don't even understand what it is. They say, yo, only God can judge me. I say, what is judgment? What is that? Is it condemnation? Is it conviction? Like, what is it? Is it correction? And the truth is, if judgment itself was truly wrong, there would be no judicial system. A judge, is that wrong? Is me wanting to grow up to be a judge? Because your judgment means that I'm making a considered, considered decision, a just decision based on someone or their actions. That's what it is. It's not condemnation. Because if that's the case, like, that means that I can't tell you anything. Because everything is judgment to you. That's like somebody coming up to me and say, hey, blood, man, you might want to stop, selling drugs because, somebody might end up robbing you. And I say, well, listen, only God can judge me. Stop judging me. What's with that? That doesn't make any sense. So even in the Bible, like the thing about us, it says in Matthew chapter 7, it talks about us not judging. We're not supposed to judge people, but in the context that it's saying that, okay, yes, it's not right for you to go. If you have something, and it says like this in Matthew chapter 7, it says, why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? So it's saying, why are you looking at the faults in one person and you don't pay attention to the faults in yourself? It says you're a hypocrite. It says, you hypocrite, first take the plank out of your own eye, then you will be able to see clearly and remove the speck from your brother's eye. So what it's saying is that judgment is wrong in the fact that if you're being condemning and in that you are being a hypocrite. If you're being a hypocrite, it is wrong for you to say, if I'm out here, doing all this stuff, and I'm like, man, you need to stop doing that stuff, man. You know what? You're not pleasing God, da 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 da. And I'm doing those things, I'm being hypocritical. I have no right to be in that place. But at the same time, if it is something that I am not dealing with, or if it's something that God has put in my spirit to help you with, and I'm not even putting it out in a hypocritical way, if I'm doing it in the love, because it's really the fact is the condemnation behind these things. If I'm looking down on you, yes, that is me judging you. But if I'm trying to help you, that is me loving you. I'm not judging you. I'm loving you, bruh. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help myself. I'm trying to help everybody. So if I can't love you, if you don't understand that correction is love, if every time somebody says something to you is wrong and is we trying to look down, because what you're doing, I'm going to tell you what this generation does. Let me tell you how we are. If we say, yo, man, lying is a sin. You know what y'all say? Well, I mean, yeah, I'm lying, but at least I'm not stealing. And you know what the stealer says? We say stealing is a sin. The stealer says, well, yeah, I'm stealing, but it ain't as bad as them, man. At least I'm not raping. You know what the rapist said? They said, well, yeah, I mean, I'm raping, but listen, at least I'm not bad as him. At least I'm not killing. And all y'all do is keep pointing the finger at everybody, man. Stop pointing the finger. Sex before marriage is fornication. I have had sex before marriage. Fornication. I still recognize it as fornication. I got homies when we say, yo, homosexuality is a sin. They're not out here screaming, nah, man, homosexuality is not a sin. They recognize it for what it is. That's what it is. If you love God and that's what God says it is, that's what it is. At least be 100 about it. Don't sit here trying to point the finger and say, well, I mean, you calling me out, so I'm going to call you out too, and da-da-da-da. That's not edifying. It's not the fact that we're trying to call you out. It's just edification and love. That's all it is. That helps somebody somehow. And the reason why we can't even get help is because everybody wants to feel like this. We're so offended, bro. Why y'all offended by everything that everybody say? Like, calm down. It's okay. I'm not offended when my homeboy comes and checks me, bro. I'm not offended when a stranger tells me something that's in alignment with what God is saying. If God is saying it, it's not even coming from that person. It's coming from God. But that's all I got to say about it, man. Listen, all y'all, only God can judge me, folks. Realize this. God is going to judge you. And God has put his judgment, and he has told us how this works. And for me to repeat what God say to you and you reject it, you're not rejecting me. I'm not condemning you. I'm not judging you. You're going to get the judgment that's coming out of my mouth, because the judgment that's coming out of my mouth is the judgment that came out of his mouth. I'm just trying to help. But at the end of the day, I mean, I feel like a lot of people, y'all just want to go to hell. So at the end of the day, all I can do is say my piece and help and put it out there. But if y'all boys don't want to receive, that's totally cool. That's totally fine. We're not out here chasing people and try to run you down to love Jesus Christ. If you do not want to love Jesus Christ, don't. Do not. If you don't want to, don't. We are not begging people to come to Jesus. That is not what we do here. That is not what Jesus did. He didn't even do that. Jesus said, listen, if they don't want to hear you, dust the dirt off your feet and go to the next city. Ain't nobody out here trying to convince you to live your life right. Nobody's out here trying to convince you to run and press towards God and see who you really are in him. If you don't want to do that, that's on you. But for everybody else who does, who ain't with this only God can judge me excuse, shout out to y'all, man. And it's all love. I love my generation so much. That's why I'm willing to put these videos up so many times. So y'all boys be blessed. Make sure y'all share, share, like this video. Get a Christ Life No Swag Loss hoodie. All the links are in there, man. And that's what it is, man. C.Blood, C.Blood too cool. I love y'all, man. I'm out. Deuces.
Top of the chart, straight at the gate, and now they want to feature. But how you do that screaming Jesus?